Today, defense attorneys for Curtis Reeves continue to chip away at the state's case against the former Tampa police captain. Reeves is accused of killing Chad Oulson as the two men argued over texting during the previews inside of a Wesley Chapel movie theater in 2014. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser has been covering this story from the beginning. And Eric, today it was all about trying to undermine the state's case against Reeves.
That's exactly right, Courtney. From the beginning, the state has said that Curtis Reeves acted irrationally, improperly, not as a normal person would on that day. Certainly not, as the defense's claim, acting in self-defense, an unreasonable act in their words. So now the defense is trying to show that the case that the state put together was inadequate in both collecting and presenting its evidence. The defense picked up where it left off yesterday with Bruce Koenig, an expert in video forensics. Using enhanced techniques, Koenig said they could see flashes and images not visible on the original surveillance video. Images the defense would like jurors to believe are Chad Oulson lunging at Curtis Reeves, or perhaps throwing his cell phone at the former Tampa police captain, supporting their claim of self-defense.
That was either a reflective or emitting light.
Correct.
The defense also called its own eyewitnesses from that day, including Joanna Turner. Turner says she remembers Oulson standing at some point, facing Reeves and making a throwing motion with something in his hand. But later, when asked if she actually saw any object strike Reeves, she said no.
And in fact, you could definitively state, meaning you could state with certainty that it was not a cell phone, correct?
Correct.
The defense then called deputies from the Pasco Sheriff's Office who were asked to help question witnesses that day, again suggesting their investigation was sloppy.
You did realize this was a shooting that resulted in someone's death?
Yes, sir.
It's still unclear whether the defense team thinks it's created enough doubt to call Reeves himself to the stand. Tampa defense lawyer A.J. Alvarez, not connected with this case, thinks they have to.
I don't see how else you establish how how he was thinking or what he was thinking at the time when he pulled the gun.
Today, the jury also heard from a man named Thomas Peck. Now, he was the general manager at the theater that day, the person that Mr. Reeves went to talk about Oulson being on his cell phone. Mr. Peck described Reeves as being calm, mild-mannered when he spoke with him. They also heard from Bernard Adams, a physician who testified about injuries, ballistics, powder burns, things of that nature. Again, the defense trying to bolster the case here that Reeves acted in self-defense. If Curtis Reeves is going to take the stand in his own self-defense, it's going to be over the next couple of days, either tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. The judge has told the jury to expect a long day on Friday. Testimony resumes 8:30 a.m.
And taking a deeper dive, researchers at Cornell Law Review have looked at how many defendants are pleading not guilty, go to trial, then decline to testify. Roughly 50% of defendants in a criminal trial choose not to testify. In Florida, about 1.5% of state cases seat a jury. Instead, many of the defendants opt for a plea bargain. You can watch coverage of the trial streamed on your Fire TV or your Roku. Just look for 10 Tampa Bay in your app store.